Welcome back to the Boneyard podcast, everybody. This is your host, Jared Shaffett, along with my good friend,
Artemis Brower.
We're coming to you this week with episode 201. 201. Artie, how we doing, my friend? It's been a minute.
It's been a while. It's been a couple weeks. Since we last recorded. Same old, same old. Nothing's changed except we're getting older. That's the only thing that's changed. We keep getting older, not younger. Outside of that, we're good.
For sure. Yeah. It feels like it's been forever, man. Maybe it's just because last week felt like it was a long ass week for me. My wife was out of town, and it was Jared on dad duty all week. That's a lot, man. It's a lot.
Happy Father's Day to you. How was Father's Day, by the way?
Well, I did a metric shit ton of housework. So
you did housework on Father. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I mowed the yard. Hung a ceiling fan.
Jared, you did housework on Father's Day?
I patched up a wall and painted it.
Did you do this because you wanted to, or this is just stuff that had to be done around the house?
It's just stuff that had to be done, man. It's hey.
Did somebody at least take you out for dinner? Did you get a card? Did somebody tell you Happy Father's Day in your house? Like,
my wife texted me and then called me later. She was working, so she got a pass.
Okay, wife working. I get that.
And then I mean, no, we just it was nothing big. It was nothing. I've been told that we're doing something this weekend. Maybe, I don't know.
It's okay. I've been told new dads don't really get shit. It's still you have to be a seasoned dad to really be celebrated.
Yeah,
the father. So
nobody gives a shit about dad. We're being honest. Like,
I'm not a dad yet, so I wouldn't know. But
like, nobody cares about dad. I mean, come on now. Everybody loves mom. Nobody cares about dad.
Well, there's a reason for that. Mom is the shit. All right.
Yeah.
Mom is awesome.
My wife is amazing, and my mom's amazing, and grandmothers, they're all great.
There's a reason why we glorify mom the way we do.
Yeah. No, I mean it was good. I mean, I got a chain for my necklace. My necklace has been broken for going on 9 months. You know, I wear that chain all the time. So, yeah, that's all. I mean, I worked my tail off that day, man. I put in work.
Yeah, you shouldn't have worked though. Like you could have pushed that off to this weekend. Like,
no, I could have, but
I get it though.
I wanted it done, and it gave me an opportunity to just be on my own and do whatever. I had a huge ass limb, about a 30-foot limb, fall in the backyard about a month ago and pierced my back deck, and I had limbs all over the place in the backyard. I was tired of mowing over them, so I hauled those off to a fire pit. I just did like adult man shit, Artie. I mowed, I edged. Man, I got the greenest grass in the neighborhood. I am 100% a dad. Artie, you know what I got for my birthday a couple weeks ago?
What's up?
Some New Balances.
Stop it. Oh God. I don't care how old I get. I don't care how many children I have. Being a frat balanced dad is not something I will ever be. You will never, ever, 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 ever catch me rocking some New Balance. That's got to be the most overrated shoe on the planet.
It's not. It's the most comfortable shoe in the world.
I don't care about.
It's the most comfortable shoe.
They look like. It looks like if I were to vomit and just put it on a canvas and New Balance. There you go.
I'm gonna retire. I had my old pair. They're about 3 years old at this point. I'm gonna retire those to my mowing shoes. And
dads deserve better than that. You got to at least try. At least try.
And look, I do try. I do try.
To New Balance.
You know me. I'm not a shoe head. I'm not.
I don't need you to be a sneakerhead. I just need you to be better than New Balance.
Hey, It gets the job done. They make my feet not hurt.
We do yard work in New Balances, okay? We don't. That's Josh. That's not doing nothing for me. That's not doing nothing for me.
Yeah, but I mean, those are nice, but you can't beat the gray New Balance, the 990s or whatever they are. You can't beat those, man. Somebody sees. You should have seen me a couple weeks ago, Artie. I was wearing my New Balances with my khaki shorts, almost an oversized polo,
just full
and
dad,
a backwards hat with a diaper bag over both shoulders, and a 13-month-old girl in my arms while I was drinking a beer at a Winston-Salem Dash game. That was. I have never looked more like a dad.
The most dad you can get
in my life.
You've reached, like, that's boss level dad. That's the final boss.
I'm carrying 2 beers and a baby in my arms. Like that's when you know you're a dad. All right, Artie, 201. Do you have a number 1 for me?
I do have a number 1 for you, and I promise you this week it's not chalk. I'm gonna say a name. I literally just Googled this name just recently. And you've probably heard this name, knowing you with your weird baseball knowledge, just knowing names. But my number 1 for the week is none other than Pee Wee Reese.
Okay.
Baseball player, played for the Brooklyn Dodgers from 1940 to 1958. Had a 269 batting average, 126 home runs, 885 RBIs, 232 stolen bases. He was a 10-time All-Star. I think he went 9 years straight from 1946 to 1954, 2-time World Series champion with the Dodgers. That is my number 1 for the week. I ain't got nothing else on the man. I just wanted to make sure I didn't pick chalk. I didn't pick like a football player or a basketball player, because I know I'm always doing that. So Pee Wee Reese of the Brooklyn Dodgers, that's my number 1 for the week.
Yeah, I mean that's a good one. Mine, I guess you would probably say mine is chalk. World Series champ, Rookie of the Year, 3-time All-Star. He was probably my number 1 last time we did this.
Should we still gonna do that?
I'm trying not to, but I don't know. I can't remember. I didn't go back and look. And he's when I think of number 1, he's the only one that really like pops into my head, just because he's synonymous with my childhood and watching the early 2000 Braves. And that's none other than shortstop Rafael Furcal. Okay. That's my number 1. Yeah, I mean, he broke into the league in 2000, had a 13-14 year career with the Braves, Dodgers, Cardinals, and finished in Miami playing 9 games for the Marlins. But yeah, I mean, Rookie of the Year back in 2000. That star-studded, like that 2000 infield for the Braves. Like, I'm trying to think, was Chipper in left field at that point? Probably so, but having Chipper, Furcal, Giles, and then probably Julio Franco at first base. And I believe that was, the Braves were still on TBS at that point. You can't get more Americana than that. I mean, just that lineup. Furcal was an elite defender. And yeah, I do think he did get into some legal trouble at one point. I think he had a DUI or something, but hey, we all make mistakes.
That's true.
All right.
Good one, though. I do have to say. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was gonna say honorable mention, because I am a Chicago kid and we are on number 1, and I had to do it. I have to. I'm sorry. He's the greatest basketball player that I've ever seen that didn't win a championship, and his career was cut way too short. If Derrick Rose never tears his ACL, I'm telling you right now, that man will be at least a 2-time champion. At least a 2-time champion. That's all I'm saying. So I gotta throw my mans out there. So Chicago's very own. It's gotta do it.
There you go. All right. Shout out to the College Huddle, Boneyard Podcast. Proud to be members of the College Huddle. We're working on some collabs. I think I'm going to be doing the G5 Huddle sometime soon, so stay tuned for that. Once I know the date, we'll make sure to put it out. Where hey, I'm going to go talk Group of 5 football with a bunch of other podcasts. So stay tuned for that. All right, Artie, let's get into it. We're into the dead period of college athletics, right? Like, not much is happening. ECU's had some pretty good recruiting weekends over the last couple weeks. Baseball's done. Awards are coming out. We'll talk about those in a little bit. But really, like, the news, and it's kind of been the hot news or the hot topic over the last day and a half or so, is East Carolina adds a non-conference game in 2027 against Western Carolina.
Yeah.
And everybody is pissed off about it. Like, I mean, everybody's going to be pissed off about something. Everybody finds something to be pissed off about every single day. But for whatever reason, this has set off a bunch of people online. And they're asking, why are we scheduling Western Carolina? Can't we find anybody better? Hey, every team does this. Every team schedules an FCS opponent. It's not like we're scheduling two. We got one FCS opponent. We have 2 dates to fill in 2027, and that accomplishes one of them. You had to have one, or you don't. I guess you don't have to have one, but you're not going to make things harder for yourself by not having an FCS matchup. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't get it. And by the time we played Western Carolina, it's been over a decade since the last time we played them, right? And I'm all for the in-state matchups, whether it's FCS, FBS, whoever. I'm all for the in-state matchups. I personally don't get it. I don't understand what the gripe is. If we are the program that we are supposed to be at that time, then I'm not saying it's an easy win, but obviously you should be going to that game, expecting a W. I don't get the gripe. I don't. I don't understand the gripe.
Yeah, I mean, you go back to the last time we played Western Carolina. That was Scotty Montgomery's first game as head coach of East Carolina. And it was what, 2016?
2016. I mean, you remember those first 2 weeks on the Scotty Mo though. We thought we had.
I thought we were.
We thought we had our coach. Like, we thought we were good.
I mean, really, those first 3 weeks.
For 3 weeks, right? Because we went to South Carolina and really
we damn near beat South Carolina and Williams-Brice that year.
Yeah.
You do that, I think the whole trajectory of Scotty Montgomery may be seen differently. You get on a roll, you go through that.
We could have a whole podcast about that game itself, because you're right. If he and ECU pull off that win in Williams-Brice and go 3-0 with a win over South Carolina, that might change the entire season and
Mike Houston might still be coaching at JMU.
Exactly. You could have a whole hour-long podcast about that, but
it's that game. And I mean, I think we lost. Josh maybe looked this up on the back end. I think that was like a one score game. We lost like 15-10. It reminded me back of the game back in, I guess it would have been 2013, our freshman year, already losing to Virginia Tech on family weekend, where we lost like 20-15. Like, it reminded me a lot of that, and I was like, okay, like, we ended up having a good year that year. We'll be all right. And then, what you got, Josh?
That South Carolina game was actually 20-15.
20-15.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe the Virginia Tech one was 15-10. Look up
Which year?
ECU Virginia Tech 2013.
2013.
I just remember that stadium being quiet for large portions of that game, because you and I were there together at that game. And for Williams-Brice being as loud and SEC environment, that stadium was quiet for large portions of that game.
That 2013 Virginia Tech was 15-10.
Okay. Right.
Look at that memory. And my wife says I can't remember things.
You remember what you want to remember.
I remember the important stuff. Like games ECU nearly won. But no, ECU schedules Western Carolina. They still have an open date on the schedule for that year. Before we were recording, already we were looking at some of the dates or some of the games, or some other teams that may have an open date during that time. I'm just going to read off a list of them. Okay. First off, we'll start at maybe the bottom. You got Duke. Duke has an open date that weekend. You got Clemson with an open date that weekend. You got, who was it? Florida State with an open date. And then you got Tennessee with an open date.
Yeah.
And then also, I doubt this happens, but if Carolina, UNC wanted to switch out a game with UConn, they have a game at UConn that weekend. They could trade that game for some other time, bring in a home game, have ECU at Carolina. I could see them trying to do that too, but maybe Carolina doesn't want to do it. But that could be a possibility. But that's kind of what you're probably looking at, right?
Yeah.
You're probably looking at a game against what you're looking at a Power 5 away game. That's what you're aiming for right there. But I think I would love to go down to Florida State.
Tallahassee, Knoxville, with absolute Death Valley. I'm good with any of those. I'm good with it. I don't care about Durham and I don't care about Duke. I just don't care to see them. To me, that's not a Power 5 matchup. I don't care to go see Duke. I don't. But going down to Tallahassee, going to a Knoxville, Tennessee, going to Death Valley and Clemson, like that's legit. I would absolutely love to see that.
Yeah, I was just trying to look. Like there's several schools and in the SEC that have open dates during that time. Another one's like Auburn. You could maybe look at a school like a Florida. They've got Cal and Florida State on their calendar that year, but
Florida.
We got a history with a lot of those schools, right?
Yeah.
And it makes you wonder if we were ever going to get a game against Tennessee in Neyland against the Volunteers. Who's the guy to get it done? John Gilbert. We asked him about it last week on the podcast, and he kind of shied away from it. But I think that it's so easy to put those two together.
Yeah, he's definitely working on it. He wouldn't be doing his job if he wasn't working on it. He's definitely trying. He's trying to get to one of those big marquee games. I see Oklahoma State down there.
Josh, you can miss me with Oklahoma State.
I would, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wouldn't mind playing Oklahoma State.
I wouldn't mind, but like I want something that I can go to. I'm not going to Oklahoma. I'm not going to Stillwater.
I kind of see where you're coming from, but like that would be different though, and that would be original, and that would be something we've never seen before. So like that's kind of why I like it.
Josh, you keep looking. We'll keep talking. You keep looking. Just throw them on the thing every once in a while when you find one. The one that's interesting. All right. So ECU's gotten several commits, bolstered the defensive line over the weekend. Like the upcoming defensive line looks stacked. I really like the direction that ECU's going in with their recruits. But we're not going to talk about all the commits. I think there was 4 or 5 from last weekend. What we are going to talk about some of the guys that we were expecting to see this year, who are reclassifying. You got first off Cole Hodge, quarterback. He reclassifies to 2025 after having hip surgery.
Yeah.
This makes sense. His brother is coming in.
Yeah.
His brother is a wide receiver. His brother is committed to ECU for 2025. This makes sense, right?
Yeah.
He got the surgery. He's going to take a year to heal. He's not going to compete with
starting position in the next 2 years.
Right. That's not him. He's going to come in and he's going to wait. And I think that's fine for him to do. And then also highly touted offensive lineman Peyton Reeder is going to enroll in January 2025 after he fractured his foot, so he's gonna heal up and come back next spring. So those are two big reclassifications. You got to look at, okay, who are we targeting now with 2 open scholarships? I don't know if you're probably looking at. To me, I think you're probably looking at the offensive line still in the transfer portal. If there's any offensive lineman that you can think of, a tackle that can make sense for this Pirate football team, I think that's where you're probably looking with a scholarship. And if not, maybe somewhere in like the secondary.
I absolutely agree. I couldn't concur more. But I love the moves, honestly. And defensive wise, I'm just not too concerned with Blake Harrell and what he's going to do on defense. I'm very, very confident in that. For me, it's all about how we perform, how we change drastically on offense. So, but I know defensively, we're going to be solid. So,
for sure. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this stout defense. I'm excited.
We're getting July, brother. Like football season really is kind of creeping on us. I ain't gonna lie to you. Like football season gonna be here in just a little bit.
Just over what? 2.5 months? Not even.
It's gonna be here in just a little bit.
I mean, you got what? 10 more days of June. Is it 31? There's 31 days in July, right?
31 in July. 30 in June, 31 in July.
31 in August. And so you got 62, you got 72 more days until Pirate football takes the field.
It's going to be here now.
And the defense is going to be stout.
We'll be here.
The defense is going to be stout. The offense is going to be quick. It's going to be speedy. And Artie, I think that's a good segue. I think that's a good segue to our guest. We have a guest this week, y'all, on the Boneyard podcast. None other than ECU track and field star, Sydney McMillan. How's it going, Sydney? We're going to bring you in right now.
Oh, hi.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good. Hi.
Welcome to the Boneyard podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We've been talking about having you on now for, I guess, about a month, and finally made it happen. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, talking about me.
Oh yeah. Hey, you've been mentioned several times on the Boneyard podcast. And,
really?
Oh yeah. We talk track. Stop. We talk track. Some of the other podcasts, most of the other podcasts won't talk track. We'll talk track. Artie.
So y'all know a little bit about track. I love to hear it.
Just a little bit. Just a
little bit. Okay, that's good.
Artie's a track guy. I'm a field guy. Both. So hey, like.
What? Okay. So wait, what did you guys do? What did you throw? Did you do hammer or discus?
I wasn't a collegiate thrower, and I was a pretty terrible high school thrower.
It's okay. We all start somewhere.
But no, I threw shot and discus.
Okay. And what did you run?
Jared, did you run?
I ran the second leg in the fat man relay for the.
Why do all throwers do that? Everybody says that's all they do.
Fat man relay is the great.
I will say
you gotta love them, literally.
There was one practice where I did run more than the distance runners and probably the sprinters combined. We stole the shot put from our rival high school, and our coach. I probably ran. I think I ran like 14 miles that day of practice.
Absolutely not. I barely want to do a 400. Absolutely not.
I was baked after, and this was like the day after a meet too, so it was terrible.
Yeah, you lost me.
Hills, lost me it was terrible. I didn't even steal them. It was somebody else.
So y'all were just running away from the school?
So we ran. We started off by running hills. Then we ran. I think it was 3 complexes, like cross country complexes.
Oh no!
And then
Yeah,
Our
you lost me there. Like,
our warm up was
oh my
our
God.
warm up was a 2 mile, and our cool
Your
down was a
coach
2
hated
mile.
Yeah,
That
Our
absolutely hated
our coach, like we did
literally.
hills. We did like the climbing up the hill. Like it, man. I was
Like bear cross.
yeah, like a bear crawl up and then like bear
Uh,
crawl down.
Mm-mm.
I was cooked.
I did that in high school one time with my coach on a 400 hill. I already know your pain. And no.
That
No.
yeah. Coach Driggers, I think he's at Glenn High School now in Winston-Salem. But
Hey, Glenn, I passed by there today.
so, Artie,
Wait,
what did you do?
200. I was 200. I was
Okay.
402. My coach made me do the 400. I was never good at the 400. I hated the 400. Anything
Yeah.
200, don't ask for me. Don't call for
See,
Artie. But he made me run it. Those were my events. So it was 200 4x2, 400 4x4.
I think they just assume as sprinters, like, we can do the 400.
They do. And
Yeah,
no,
not cut out for it.
no, that's double what my body can actually handle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I always feel like, yeah, any sprinter I've talked to, and really any runner I've talked to, the distance people will say, yeah, the 400 is too short for me to get like amped up for, and then the sprinters are like, no, that's too long for me. I gotta
Literally, like the 400 just need to eliminate it. Like,
nobody
I
wants to
think
do
it's
the
time.
400.
Literally, nobody does.
It's like it's too short to where like you have to sprint it, but it's like it's
Yes.
too long to where it's like,
To
but
sprint the whole thing at that.
yeah, like this is like no, this doesn't feel right. It just does not.
But
feel
and
right.
then distance guys, they actually can do a good 400. So it's like, yeah, they can easily just split like a either 50 point or under, and I'm just like, yeah, you guys are crazy. Like our distance guys, when they do it easily, and I'm just like, okay, you guys are brave soldiers, so you guys can have it. Literally, go ahead, take it away.
For sure. So, I mean, you competed here recently in the NCAA Outdoor Championships.
Yes.
Had a great finish there. I mean, then now you're in the Olympic trials, correct? How's preparation for that? Like, how you feeling?
I feel good, blessed, thankful, excited. I'm just ready to soak at the moment, honestly. Yeah, it's just another one in the books. And plus I get to be around pros. So I'm about to be fangirling, really. I'm about to go get all the pictures I can. So that's what I'm ready for.
Now, specifically, like what are you most like excited for? Like who are you most excited to meet there? Like who are you most excited to run into? Is like networking opportunities? Like what exactly are you most excited for going up to Eugene?
Well, of course I want to run pro. So really I'm getting a dose of that. Like I'm going to experience that. So that's what I'm excited for. But as far as people wise, like I'm gonna fangirl over Abby Steiner because she was here for like 2 years and then she went pro. So I'm gonna fangirl over her. Of course, Sydney McLaughlin. And then I finally get to see like all of the hurdlers. Like it's hard to get your hands on the US hurdlers in regular meet. So being able to race them, and then my coach just wants me to like being able to race them. We'll get to see like, of course, what areas can I work on actually being next to them in a race. So it's a little bit different. So literally everything, I can't lie, everything I'm ready for. So
I'll say like you hurdlers are wild people in of itself. I mean, anybody that can do that. Like I remember the first time I saw like hurdles up close and I was like, these people are freaks.
It's like
in the kindest way possible.
I was about to say, no, literally the hurdle's the same height as me. So
right.
I mean
y'all are like gazelles out there.
This isn't too bad. And then when you really walk up on the hurdles, like, yo, how do they do this?
Literally the same. People always say like you're bold, but I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you. I was called to this. It wasn't like, oh, let me get into hurdles. It was just, I was called to it. And then it was my niche. And then I'm still like, every time I literally kid you not, when I see 10 hurdles in a row, I'm like, this is a lot of hurdles. And they look actually really tall. I'm like, wow. And then the hurdle falls. If you want to be humbled in your life, like ever, like really, really good, the falls will do that. They will humble you immediately.
It's an ugly fall. I've seen it on TV before, and it's a terrible because
Nasty.
it's just an ugly fall.
Yeah, like
and like the track isn't soft.
it's literally not. No,
it hurts.
It hurts, and you're gonna take off some skin. Like when I heard my very first hurdle fall, I almost broke my knee. So yeah, the track's not your friend. Literally, it's not. So
I remember talking to all the runners at track. I tried to run as little as possible. That's why I threw shit. I remember talking to them, and I know swimmers always talk about like the worst part of the day is getting in the pool. And
why? Because it's cold?
Because it's cold. And I feel like I feel like I remember runners talking about like, yeah, that first like warm-up session is the worst.
Yeah, the warm-up lap or laps. Our coach makes us do 800 meters warm-up lap, and I'm like, I'm not built for this. I am just not built for this. I'm sorry. And then all the drills, and then it's hot. It's just a lot. Just to do like a couple reps, like 2 or 3 reps. And it's like, okay, I did all that for what? So yeah.
And like for those that don't know, right? Because like a lot of people that are watching right now, like they look at track and it's glamorous and it's nice and they just like for those that don't know how difficult training and practice is, like how hard is like just a day-to-day practice. Because I just remember running in high school. I'm not a D1 athlete like you. So what is that like?
Okay. Fall makes you want to quit. You're gonna be in the trash can probably. I don't even know how to explain it other than you're probably gonna want to throw up and just quit. Yeah, literally. Like I think in the fall we got up to doing like 7 or 8 300s. Again, I'm just a hurdler. I tell my coach, I'm just a hurdler. I'm just a hurdler. But yeah, it's a little rough. Then we have stadiums.
Do not miss that at all. Are y'all running?
Yeah.
Are y'all running a Dowdy?
I was about to ask. Is that Dowdy?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's not a small stadium.
It's not
top and bottom.
Ooh.
Y'all are doing top and bottom. No?
Yes. I mean, I guess you could say the good thing is we run on the Boneyard side, so it's a little bit shorter, but it's still like it's still not. It's still not great. Yeah.
So what I'm hearing is training sucks.
It really does. But it makes the beauty. I don't know. The outcome is the beauty of it. So yeah, you take it. You got to learn to love it, literally.
Right.
So, talking about the outcome, I mean, when you're seeing like all the things that you've accomplished, right? Like when you set a new PR, what is that feeling? Even if you don't win the race, but you set that PR. That's such a big thing for runners, hurdlers, any track and field athlete. Talk to me about that feeling in that instant.
Truth be told, no matter how I run, I hold my head up because I know it's an opportunity from God. So I literally, I just take it literally like a grain of salt because, like you said, if I come out with a PR but don't win, I got a PR. So why do I need to hang my head about it? And then if I win and don't get a PR, I won. So, I mean, either way, I learned to just find the positive in it. So it's literally a blessing to even be out there because it could be anything else but what you have in front of you. So
love that.
I do want to ask this because I remember when I was running, and a lot of guys and girls, they had a whole bunch of superstitions pre-game or pre-run rituals and things like that. Like, do you have any like pre-run rituals, things you have to do beforehand? How do you get into like this championship mode?
I don't want to talk about the race. Don't ask me about the race.
Okay.
Don't talk to me about it. I don't want to hear anything about it. That's literally me. The only thing that I can say I actually try to make sure I do is my pre-meet dinner. I'm either eating pizza or wings and fries. That's it.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah. That's it.
Got to get a little grease in the system. I get it.
Yeah. It does something. I'm telling you, it might be a little secret if you want to try it. Anybody who's out there, you want to try it.
Yeah, I had pizza for dinner tonight. I'm gonna go run a 400 tomorrow.
Let me know if you run 50 point. It might be in there. Look,
I can guarantee you I'm not.
you might run a 55. Then you
Already,
can spot on the relay.
yeah. I used to tell people I ran anchor on the 4x1, and that meant that I was holding the team back.
You bring it home for us. It's all on you.
So the going back to the hurdles. So is your event just the 100 or do you do the 200 as well?
So I do the 1 and the 2 as well, but it's like to aid my 100 hurdles because
Gotcha.
I got to be fast. So yeah.
And so you'll do that even in the meets, even though that's not like your main.
Yep.
race. Okay.
I think the most I've ran, like I'll do the hurdles 1, 2, 4x4, or like sometimes it'll be 4x1. But yeah, we'll just mix it up.
So, what's the goal? Like, I mean, go pro. Is that the goal? Obviously, I would think.
Yeah. I would love to go pro. It's whatever God has for me, though. I just take it one day at a time. I mean, of course, I've had so much success and came a long way from it. So there's so much room for me to grow. So I think that's why I just want to go pro, just so I can just show people like you can start from literally, I guess you could say bare minimum and become like literally the best ever. So that's really why I want to go pro, just so I can let everybody know like it can happen. But other than that, if it's not in store for me, then it's not in store for me. So.
And how was winning that American Athletic Conference championship? Like, was that like just like a euphoric feeling, or was it just one of those like, okay, I'm just happy it's over now? Like, yeah, I won, but like,
probably a little bit of both. Yeah, just a little bit of both. I think there was some foreshadowing in it. Just because indoor I was set up to win. It didn't go through. Just because I put so much pressure on myself, like you're gonna win. And then it honestly came to the point where it's like you're believing you're not going to win as opposed to already knowing you're going to win. Mm-hmm. Then outdoor, I didn't really focus on the win and then got it. And it was just kind of like God was teaching me a lesson, like, see, like you don't have to put pressure on yourself to know that you're not going to win. It'll happen. So it was a little bit of both.
I gotta say, I love the mindset that you set and keep for yourself and focusing it all on God and we that's it's not something Artie and I talk about a ton on the podcast, but we're both men of faith and it's great to hear athletes, no matter what their faith is, talk about believing in something more than themselves. So I just wanted to let you know I appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys too.
I want to ask though, to that note, like talk about your mindfulness and you're talking about like, oh, I'm kind of psyching myself out, thinking that I'm going to win, but then kind of reverse psychology, thinking that I'm not going to win, right? Talk about like how, as a D1 athlete, you stay in the right mindset to be a hard-nosed competitor.
I think as a collegiate athlete, being collegiate athlete. So we're in college experiencing the college atmosphere. But at the end of the day, we're still athletes too. So it's literally about separation. Literally God calls you to be set apart. And I think a lot of times we get comfortable just being in an environment and going along with the flow. So I think you just have to learn to separate yourself, especially at the end of the day, everybody signed up to be an athlete in college. You didn't just get here and just be like, well, I'm just here. You signed the paper. You kind of knew what you're getting into because you had that potential that college coaches saw. So I really just make sure I stay grounded on what matters to me, literally, and just let the outside noise be outside noise and stay focused on what needs to be focused on.
You could, I mean, you could be a motivational speaker. If the hurdles don't work out, like people will pay money to come watch you and listen
you
to you
think
talk.
so?
I
Let me channel something. I don't think so.
I think so. Like, I don't know. Like, it's a very peaceful and almost just mindful, right? Kind of using that term that I said earlier. It's mindful, right? Like,
Yeah.
centering yourself on something else.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really do appreciate that. And I've seen it just from some of your tweets and talking to you a little bit on Twitter. But what's one thing we like to ask all either current or former ECU athletes? What does it mean to you to be a Pirate?
Ooh, yeah.
This might be tough.
No, it's okay. So I'll never forget this. I think it was our conference meet. I can't remember if it was indoor and outdoor, but our distance coach, Coach Billy, told us a story about, what does it mean to be a pirate? And he was just saying it means basically, how pirates went out for battle. They had no thought process of coming back home. Like their thought process was, we're going to go out there and leave everything out there, even if it meant like our lives are being left. Like we have no thought about coming home without, I guess you could say, like without winning. So I think for me, like that's what it means for me. Like it means not much. It's not about winning for me, but it's about winning for my teammates, winning for everybody else, or like bringing light in whatever area I can. So just being a pirate just means having your team's back and just going out with the fight with all you got and just leaving it right there, even if it means I don't get anything returned or I have to leave my body where it needs to be at. So
love it. That's the whole no quarter thing, right? Like
it is.
Yeah, that right.
Even
take no
all
prisoner.
Yep.
I mean, just you're going out there. It's a one-way mission, and if I come back, that means I was victorious.
Yeah.
Which I think every pirate should live their life that way. So, love that. Artie, you got any other questions? If not, I'll ask her the toughest question we got.
Nah, go ahead and hit it with the toughest question we have.
All right, Sydney, toughest question, even tougher than what does it mean to be a pirate, or how do you stay mindful and centered on something else? Here's the toughest question. There's a little known establishment downtown Greenville.
Oh gosh.
Right there on 5th Street.
Uh-huh.
By the name of Sup Dogs.
Uh-huh.
You ever been?
Yeah, I've been plenty of times.
Okay.
Good.
So we talked about greasing up before a meet. Maybe you go to Sups for some added fuel.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to carb load a little bit.
Oh my gosh.
What are we getting at Sups? What's your order?
I'm definitely gonna go hot dog with just ketchup.
Hot dog.
I'm gonna do
hot dog
fries and the fried pickle sticks, or the what is it? The fried pickles, but they're fries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do they have that now? I didn't even know they had that.
They've added so much to the menu.
I'm an OG. I don't remember the fried pickles.
Really? Oh my gosh! No, the fried pickles are a go-to with their little salt.
Wow.
I remember
every
when
time.
Sup Dogs only had one deck.
That part.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Once upon a time, Sup Dog was only one deck establishment. They didn't have that. They didn't have the upper deck.
Oh my gosh! What?
And only half of it was covered.
Two.
Only half of it was covered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was it like for you guys?
I got to try that.
I do love me some fried pickles.
Did you was Sup Dogs what it is now?
Oh yeah. I mean yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And Brett's a longtime friend of the podcast.
Okay.
Brett the owner, and
okay.
But no, yeah, it's. I mean, we used to go to Mug Night on Monday nights, and
see, I don't even know what that is. Is that still a thing?
I don't expect you to know what that is.
You should not be.
Oh my
As you an athlete, you should not be a
as an athlete, especially a runner, like you should not be a mug knight.
no.
Okay. I'll leave it.
Offensive
leave it alone.
linemen and
Leave it alone.
defensive linemen on the
Maybe.
football team, I could see them there.
Oh
You,
my
I
gosh.
don't want to. I would tell you to go home.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's basically you bring in whatever size cup you want,
Oh,
and they
God.
fill it up with beer for $1.
Yep.
So
Hopefully,
Look,
that's
I hope they don't do that anymore. That would be
I think they still do. I'm
Really?
sure they do. But everybody, we would have guys in our fraternity. Artie and I are pledge brothers, and
Okay.
we would have guys in the fraternity messaging the Facebook wall saying, "Hey, it's Monday night or Monday. Let's go to subs." It was like 11 o'clock. I was like,
oh my gosh.
we have an 8 a.m. class in the morning. What do we do?
I was about to say that was a
But
rough Tuesday. I know.
that 11 o'clock was 11 a.m. Like people would go and sit there all day.
All
and drink.
day?
And I
Absolutely
just, I had a conversation with somebody from work today, and my work's an international company, and I only know of one person from from ECU that works there.
Mhm.
But this one girl, I was talking to her, and she was like, "Oh, where'd you go to college?" I said, "East Carolina." Oh yeah, Josh is showing some unique mugs. And she was like, "Yeah, my brother went there for a little bit." And she said he got arrested and had to drop out after a year. And she said it seemed like a lot of that was happening at ECU. And I was like, "Yeah,
Oh my gosh.
there you go."
That is huge.
Wow, that might be the biggest wine glass.
OMG. And the little coffee thing is crazy.
Yeah, that's
My favorite's the fishbowl.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know, but she might be on something with that one.
I do look you
How
like
cute.
that was cool.
Yeah, the pineapple was pretty dope. Where do you even find that? Inflatable pools. People are funny. You gotta love Pirate Nation, literally.
Love it.
Oh my gosh.
Well, Sydney, we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you
for joining us on the Boneyard podcast.
Thank you for having me. I enjoyed it.
Of course, you will now be a forever member of the Friends of the Podcast.
Oh, I gotta do a backflip now. Oh
yeah.
Certified. I can get in the club now. Oh.
We'll, maybe we can send you something so that way when you qualify for the Olympics, you hold it up and it says Boneyard Podcast.
I'll do that. I'll try to shout it out on the
Love it.
Yeah, on TV. I'll do it. I'll find a camera.
Love that. Sydney, thank you so much for your time. And like I said, best of luck. And we really do. We appreciate it. And you've inspired me tonight. So I appreciate that.
He's still not going to go run.
I'm not going to go run. I don't run.
Look, we have to do one workout. We can do one little workout together.
Hey, I'll do a workout.
Okay.
I'll do a workout, but Artie, we need to get down to Greenville. We'll do a workout with Sydney, and we'll go take a golf lesson with Coach Williams.
Exactly.
There we
go.
Hit subs.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Sydney. Have a good one.
All right. Thank you too.
Once again, Sydney McMillan, ECU track and field star. Artie, that was great. That
was dope.
Going back to how we used to say, "Oh, that might be the best interview we've done in a long time." That one felt good.
It's conversational. The best interviews are conversation. It's not just Q&A. It's just you sit there and have a conversation.
That one felt good. That one left me inspired and excited, and I hope it did the same for our listeners, the 100 some people watching at home. Thank you, Sydney, for
absolutely
giving us time. I mean,
go out there and compete and represent Pirate Nation to the best of your abilities, as we know you will. Whew.
Love it. All right, what's next on the sheet?
We got
some more information. Kaylee Hamblin. Josh, has this happened or no? I think it has. Has it not? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Or
it has happened, I believe. Yeah. Swimming is done.
How did Kaylee do?
I honestly have not kept up. So
So I guess that's. I mean,
yeah, I haven't heard any news that she made the team, but I do know that she was there. She swam with Katie Ledecky. I mean, Katie beat
Katie
the
Ledecky
field by
won by
20
a
seconds.
full 20 seconds.
Yeah, but I mean, we're talking about Katie Ledecky, though. I mean, that's I'm not comparing nobody to Katie Ledecky.
That's
Like,
it. Is Katie Ledecky the greatest swimmer of all time, men's or women's?
I mean, you still got Michael Phelps there.
She's.
Look, I'll say this.
I feel like her
Phelps
prime's
is probably
longer.
the only argument at this point is Phelps and Katie Ledecky. And
I feel like
everybody else.
I feel like she's starting to have more longevity in her prime than Michael Phelps.
I mean, did you watch Michael Phelps in his
Yeah, but I'm saying
a long prime.
I just maybe it just felt like because he was.
Doesn't he still had the most gold medals of all time or something
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, but
Michael Phelps had a very long prime.
I don't know.
But he's still won. I will agree. Katie Ledecky, men or women, she is so far up there.
Yeah,
So.
yeah, man. And they get in a pool and they actually swim. I get in a pool and I want to drink a beer.
Have you been in an Olympic like pool before? It's actually kind of scary.
Yeah. I've been
in like an official like Olympic pool.
Yeah.
It's I didn't want to be in there for long, to be honest with you.
I've swam laps before in one.
Just take me to a regular pool.
Yeah, just show me where the deep end is and let me do a cannonball off the diving board. That's what they need. They need already, and I know this has been said before by others. We need a person, just a lay person, a normal person, to compete in the Olympics. Like to show, okay, this is what a normal person looks like compared to these freak athletes.
Right. Yeah. Just comparison. If you actually think you could halfway compete with these people, you can't.
Send me off the high dive and watch what happens. I guarantee you want to talk about a show? That's a show. It's the same reason going back to the Fat Man Relay. It's the same reason they do the Fat Man Relay in high school track is because it shows you what normal people look like when they're trying to run a 4x100.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Artie, if you had to pick, and it doesn't have to be based off your skill.
Okay.
So you don't have to do, you don't have to do the 200, right? Like you did that in high school. That's probably what you would be best at.
Mm-hmm.
If you could pick any event, you could pick beach volleyball if you wanted to. What would you pick for the Summer Olympics?
For the Summer Olympics? Oh, I mean, I do feel like track and field is like the premier event at the summer. Every like the 100 and the 4x1. That is just
it's like the Kentucky Derby.
That's must-see television. You have to, if you're not watching the 100 and the 4x1, you shouldn't be watching the Summer Olympics. That's must-see television. But if I had to do, I'm gonna go outside of track. So if I had to do something outside of track, I'm gonna say gymnastics.
I could see you.
Gymnastics. If I could be a great gymnast, like on my Simone Biles type stuff, that, because that's the one event where like literally like outside of track, you're watching gymnastics and you're watching these incredible athletes do the triple fronts and the quadruple fronts, and it's like, how can a human body possibly flip this many times and land on their feet? I don't get it, but they're doing it. I'm also a wrestler, so I'm watching the wrestling. I'm watching the judo. What else am I watching?
Badminton.
I ain't gonna lie, to watch the badminton.
I fuck with badminton.
Watch the badminton.
Badminton is.
I watch fencing too. Fencing might be my number 2.
Badminton is the pickleball for millennials that like grew up in the 90s. That's what badminton is. Badminton is pickleball before pickleball was cool.
But no, if I had to pick, one, gymnastics though. If I could be a great gymnast, like, because that's just original and different and cool. So
Just a reminder, badminton is the precursor to pickleball, as in pickleball was founded on a badminton court.
Right. So I'm telling you, badminton, you got to walk before you run, and badminton's where you walk. And you get out there in the backyard with your grandpa swinging that badminton racket, better watch out. I'm coming over the top.
I love it. I love it.
Artie, what do you call the thing? What do you call the thing that you hit in badminton?
I don't
trivia.
I honestly do not know.
Some trivia.
No idea.
Josh, do you know?
Is it the Hitchcock? I know it's got cock
No,
in it.
it is the shuttlecock.
Shuttlecock. Yeah.
Shuttlecock. I see what you did there, Jay. You're not slick. I see what you did there.
Oh shit. Artie, what a good show. What a good
I'm watching
episode.
some water polo too. I like water polo. I ain't gonna lie. Water polo gets intense.
Water polo is basically somebody trying to drown people.
I'm just saying, like, I'm scared that they're gonna drown each other half the time. Like, water polo gets intense. Talk about athlete. You had to be athletic to float in the water and basically play volleyball in the water.
I'm trying to think like some of the crazier ones. Let's see.
I'm excited for the Summer Olympics. It's gonna be good.
Like the racquetball too, like that. I'd probably do shooting.
Okay. Don't they have table tennis at the Summer Olympics too?
They do have table tennis.
I love watching me some table tennis. Some dudes just yeah. I love me some good table tennis. I like the Olympic Games. I do. I love watching the Olympic Games.
It's fun to bet on.
That
But no, yeah, table tennis, weightlifting.
Gonna watch the weightlifting. Absolutely.
I enjoy like the decathlons. Like,
I don't usually watch the decathlons, but
you want to talk about an all-around athlete?
But those, yeah, you do have to be an all-around Superman, Superwoman to do that.
Shout out Caitlyn Jenner. All right. Moving on, Artie. ECU baseball, some awards. Don't look at me like that. Some awards have been announced. We'll just go through some of the top ones.
Do it.
2024 American Baseball Coaches Association Rawlings Gold Glove Award. And there, you couldn't find somebody that's more deserving for this award. This man put his life on the line, put it all out there. None other than Riley Johnson. Dude was playing with 0 labrums and just running into walls.
Yeah, he was.
Like he had no like awareness for his body. Like it was just, I see ball, I catch ball.
Exactly. I'm going out there, I'm catching this ball. I don't care what my body hits. It's just gonna happen.
Going back to what Sydney was talking about, like I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna give it my all, and either I come back with the ball or I don't come back at all.
I will say, like, that is like the true definition between like an athlete and a great athlete is someone who like faces pain and is like, whatever. I'm gonna get hurt. I'm gonna face pain. It is what it is. I'm still gonna be great. Like that's like the difference. So
yeah, I mean, the fact this man just literally lays it out all out on the line each and every play, and he doesn't have a 50 miles per hour. It's 0 or it's 100, and a lot of times it's 100. If it's 0, it's because it's before the play starts. So Riley Johnson, very deserving of the Gold Glove Award for collegiate outfielders. All right, Trey Savage, first team All-American from the American Baseball Coaches Association, All Region. Trey Savage, Carter Cunningham, and then Wyatt Lunsford Shinkman. Also, Trey Savage was the National College Baseball Writers Association All-American first team. Wyatt Lunsford Shinkman was second team. And then the Perfect Game USA All-American. Ethan Norby was first team freshman All-American, and Trey Savage was first team. Trey's going to go probably top 10 picks in the draft. I mean, he just is. He's that good.
Very good. Yeah.
And he's got electric stuff. I saw him on an interview with MLB Network at the prospect combine earlier this week. I think it was yesterday or the day before. And I mean, just the way he talks, and we don't talk enough about his fastball, but he was like, that's my number one pitch. And he's got plus stuff on every pitch, and some team is going to be ecstatic when they call his name. So, shout out Trey Savage. All right, Artie. Walk the plank. Do you have one?
Yeah, I got a little mini walk the plank. Just a personal gripe that I have because I'm a big basketball fan. Been watching basketball all year. The playoffs were great. And then I had to be subject to this trash-ass finals. And I just want to say to the Dallas Mavericks, why the hell did you not show up? To Kyrie Irving, why the hell did you not show up? To the bench players and all the other supporting cast, I was hoping to at least get 6. Give me 6. I got a gentleman's suite. And to be honest with you, Boston took a night off. They could have ended it in Dallas if they really wanted to. But they said, hey, we want to win in Boston in front of our own fans. They were playing with Dallas. They let Dallas have a game, took a night off, came back to Boston, won by 20. So congratulations, Brandon. Congratulations, Brandon, number 18. Boston Celtics, the whole gambit. But as a pure basketball fan, I was so disappointed in that finals. I need something better next year. The playoffs are good. I need something like this Edmonton versus Florida Panthers series. That's what I need. Edmonton coming back, forcing a game 6. Connor McDavid playing great, possibly going to force a game 7. That's the kind of action I need. I've been watching hockey too. That's the kind of.
I was about to say that this is why you need to watch the puck.
I've been watching.
All right, mine, and this isn't really. It's a walk the plank in the sense that it was one of the bigger choke jobs in recent memory. And it is also a reminder to all of us average Joes who like to go out on the links and hit a ball around and get mad when we don't put it in the hole in par.
Mm.
Rory McIlroy had the biggest collapse in the last 4 holes.
This is a good one.
At the U.S. Open this past weekend. He missed, I believe it was 3 putts inside 5 feet.
Yeah.
And this was after Bryson missed one within 5 feet.
Yeah.
It
was Rory's championship for the taking.
When Bryson missed that putt, I believe it was on 15 or 16, I said, this thing is over. Rory's got it. Like, he's up 2 shots. And then they go back to Rory. Guess what? Rory misses his putt. What are you doing? What are you doing? And then Bryson just plays absolutely. I mean, he's hitting the ball all over the place.
The shot that Bryson hit was all time. That was a great shot.
It was like that bunker shot, strokes gained, was like the best shot anybody made on the course all week. So I don't know, man. Rory, I don't know. There's something in there. It would not surprise me if he wins at the Open Championship here, I guess in 2 weeks.
Which
next week? Is that I don't know. It's coming up.
You're right. It's
the Open Championship. It's coming up, but would not surprise me. I mean, that's his style of golf. Even though his style of golf has changed, he's now he doesn't play the European style of golf anymore. He plays the American style and the long bomb and
right. So you drive the hell out of it.
hitting it as far as you can, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I like Rory, and I've never been a Bryson fan. I've probably talked a lot about Bryson. I know
I do
Bryson
like
is
Bryson. Why don't you like Bryson?
no. Let me finish.
Just what's wrong with Bryson?
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with Bryson. Bryson was probably a walk the plank 2 years ago because he was a real goofball and a real dork,
That is
and
true.
people didn't like him, and I didn't like him. But the way that he carried himself at the U.S. Open on the biggest stage in some of the toughest, playing one of the toughest golf courses you're going to play.
Yes.
The U.S. Open is consistently the hardest course that these players play every single year.
Right.
And last year it wasn't that case at Los Angeles Country Club. This year at Pinehurst, it was.
Pinehurst #2 is a hell of a course.
And they had that thing. They had those greens rolling at a diabolical rate. Those things were like glass. I'll say that. But the way Bryson carried himself, the way that he engages with the crowd now, he used to just be an awkward dude that just couldn't get out of his own way and said things that like didn't endear himself to the fans.
All he had to do was grow up. That's all he had to do. He had to grow up a little bit.
He finally figured it out, and yeah, he's still kind of like a nerdy guy, but it's a good nerdy. Like people like how nerdy he is now. It's not this like, oh, I'm putting because I hit this one dimple and I'm aiming at this one dimple when I putt or something like that. It's not that. Now, him talking about soaking his balls in Epsom salt is a whole different thing. But yeah, shout out Bryson DeChambeau.
That's honestly a good one though, because Rory definitely did choke that though, and I was rooting for Rory. I really didn't want him to win that because he hasn't won a major in like a decade. So
yeah, I believe it was the Open Championship 2014.
Yeah, it's been a long time since Roy's won a major.
Yeah, no, yeah, and for as good as he is on tour, he can't get it done on the biggest stage, right? And this was another shot, yet again another shot. He had a shot a couple weeks ago, I believe, at the PGA Championship. He always seems to be in contention in Augusta, and he's always in contention, but he's always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
That's a good analogy.
So, yeah, he's gonna do it, and everybody's gonna be happy for him. But
right
when I watch a Sunday at a major championship, and really any golf, when I'm watching on Sunday, I'm just praying for chaos. And I told my mom who was sitting there with me, I said, I just want chaos. And sure enough,
great drama.
We got chaos.
Great drama.
That second shot that Bryson had to hit was absolutely insane.
Yeah, out the rough when he was like hitting out that tree and like behind that stump. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Like the guy couldn't hit a fairway to save his life. I think he hit 2 fairways all day.
Yeah,
so all right, Artie, let's get out of here. Anything gambling corner, Josh? Anything you got for me? We good? There's nothing going on.
Nothing's going on.
Yeah. Everything's dead. Everything is done.
All right, Artie. I'll see you next week.
Power Nation, we appreciate you. Thank you, Sydney McMillan, for coming on and joining us on today.
Great interview.
Great interview. We appreciate you. Go kill it up there in Eugene. Wash your hands, wash your butts, people. Until next time. Deuce.
Peace.